All right, so we just wrapped up the Into the Light live stream, the final parts of this preview to kick off the launch of Into the Light next week. And I'm going to say this, and this may be a hot take, every single week it progressively got better and better. And I think all the information we saw and received in this final live stream was incredible. Now, we'll be quick with wrapping up some of the information because I don't think that I need to waste time talking about yada, yada, yada. First up, exotic missions. This is going to be kind of a big part of this update because unfortunately a lot of players who may be playing now maybe never experienced the Whisper and 0 Hour exotic mission. Now the great thing is that there are exotics. The Whisper sniper rifle, which is a heavy sniper rifle, will be seeing a buff in reserve, so this should hopefully make it more of a boss DPS option or just a solid DPS option. The reserves for the current version in general kind of always hinder it. Now on top of that, it's craftable, so you can customize it to fine tune it to be even better. And then with 0 Hour we are getting the Outbreak perfected exotic weapon. Some people may have missed out on this, specifically with the catalyst and all that stuff, and even the 0 Hour experience, so they'll be able to do that and craft this weapon. Now there will be secrets and difficulties to these missions that are going to unlock the full arsenal capabilities of crafting these exotics. I think this is a great approach, kind of like make people do these challenges, find these secrets to kind of get the full potential out of this weapon, and it adds a little bit more life. The Whisper exotic mission will be available when Into the Light launches, and then at some point in May, we'll be getting the 0 Hour mission with Outbreak perfected. I think this is a good little time gating situation here. Let people focus in, get all the stuff for the Whisper sniper rifle, and then the following month, let them focus in on 0 Hour and Outbreak perfected. So when it comes to that type of stuff, good shit. No weapons tied to this. They talk about new ships based on their old ships, but they're newer, so they won't be tarnishing the kind of reward aspect of what old players may have when it comes to their ships. So all that stuff is great, and I'm glad to see these exotic missions in play. Now, when it comes to PvP, we got a good look at the 3 new maps. One is going to be on the pyramid ship that the Traveler shot, specifically the location for the Rooted Nightmares raid. Another one will be on Neonuma, and the final one will be on Europa. Now, when it comes to how these look and play, I can only talk about how they look, and artistically, it gives me some thing to be excited for. I think some of the foundational issues with PvP are still not being addressed with these maps because there's I guess you could say inconsistent gunplay mechanics right now that I want them to talk about, but it's not really important for this video. But when it comes to the aesthetic of the map, it seems like we're really getting into like Destiny 1 style of art direction. And what I mean by that is the world of Destiny that we are experiencing is being implemented in the PvP maps. And for a long time, I feel like there was a massive disconnect of what we're doing in the narrative of PvE that doesn't really translate into the story of PvP. So it was nice to see Neonuma get a map right away, or at least a year later from the release of the location. Map looks beautiful. Europa getting a map, which is also incredible. There are some connections of like this is where Aramis like parked her cache to fuel up, but she also left the solar system, so you know, not getting nitpicky, but that's kind of cool in my opinion. And then on top of that, Neonuma, beautiful map, really beautiful. I'm like shocked how beautiful it looks, and I wish we got more of that in the actual location of Neonuma, not just, you know, a PvP map later, but altogether these maps look gorgeous. Playstyle seems to be on the smaller side, which I think is nice. Tight quarters allow for some of the gunplay engagements to play out, whether it's like certain long angles or close angles for people. Some of their recent maps, specifically the Vex Network map that dropped recently and the Witch Queen map, were just too massive and just not good at all in my opinion. So I'm glad to see the scale of these maps kind of be a little bit smaller and hopefully induce some fun gameplay. Besides that, we got some final information regarding certain things. So we got some teases on the Pantheon activity. Now, this was given very little detail. We're going to be getting more information the closer we get. I believe the release date of this will be April 30th. But basically, this is a activity where we will be taking on raid bosses. They described, you know, obtaining exotics and other stuff from there, as well as an escalating difficulty. So everything here is pretty vague, but the fact that, you know, there's going to be an activity, it doesn't sound like there's a match-made reward for it. So at least no matchmaking in this case. You could use Fireteam Finder, or you could just put together your fire team yourself So that's a little unfortunate. I wish there was some sort of matchmaking for lower tiers, but again, we have bare bones information. Maybe there is something in the works like that. But altogether, escalating difficulty, taking on raid bosses, getting exotics. I don't know what exotics those are. Could they be tied to the raid? I don't think so. Maybe they're just like a way to like implement another Vex strike, for example, of getting exotics you don't have or getting exotics you drop consistently via these activities. All that stuff sounds good. And next week, if you guys thought the live streams were over, we got a gameplay preview for the final shape next week, April 9th. It will have its own emblem tied to it for watching, which I think is pretty damn cool. But yeah, it's like more of these live streams, please, because I feel as a fan of Destiny that this is something that has been long desired and missing for some time. Now, it's to no fault of our own, the community, for why these have disappeared, but I am glad that these are back, allowing devs to just freely talk about the design process and their goals of what they're going for with like PvP maps or activities or challenges they may be of like updating these exotic missions to fit present day sandboxes. All this stuff was reassuring, and it's information to the player that allows us to feel some sense of confidence and hope going forward and give us an understanding of what the workflow is in a way when it comes to objectives and design philosophies around different parts of Destiny. And this is very, very welcome. Thank you to Bungie for just giving us this stuff. It's not easy because this requires time out of your day to kind of put together, highlight, and stuff like that. But overall, I think it was a massive success, and I am very much looking forward to Into the Light as an update. It will have its own title, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this live stream. Fun fact, I saw that this live stream on Twitch, at least on the Bungie side, crossed 100,000 viewers. So I think that is an incredible number for, I guess you could say, the state of Destiny and how the community is feeling. I wasn't paying attention to live chat because I never do, but altogether I think things are looking good, and hopefully next week's gameplay preview really does get the hype going forward, because the same day Into the Light drops, so we'll have a new activity, we'll have new weapons to farm, we'll have a new armor set, all these good stuff to kind of chase, and hopefully we see some improvement on the final shape gameplay loop, or at least gameplay itself. Really excited to see what they're going to show us there, but expect more of it, honestly. I do expect a lot more of these live streams because I think Bungie is recognizing that these are working out in a great way for the tone around the community right now. It's something that was long needed, but yeah, curious to hear you guys' thoughts on these live streams. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Curious to hear you guys' thoughts. If you guys enjoyed and found this video informative, be sure to drop this video a like. Helps out the video a ton. And for more content like this for Destiny 2, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified when I do drop more content, because we got some stuff in the works that are like kind of prep builds for future iterations of like maybe the sandbox changes. And then on top of that, we have the brand new stuff with Into the Light to check out, and guides and stuff like that for you when it comes to weapons and builds and stuff like that. But altogether, guys, want that, like I said before, hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified. But besides that, I think I've done enough talking. That's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.